I'm Ashley, a 48-year-old housewife. I've been with my husband, John, since college, and we got married in our third year of working. Soon after, we had our eldest daughter, Emily, followed by our son, Kevin, 2 years later. There were tough times, like dealing with Emily's friend issues and taking care of Kevin, who was frail, but those are now fond memories. Now, both kids are grown up and enjoying college life while living on their own. John and I have been married for over 20 years. He's a traditional husband, serious about his work but always leaving the housework and childcare to me. However, since my friends share similar complaints, I never thought much about it, assuming that's just how husbands are. The passion might have burned out long ago, but there's a sense of companionship that comes with years of being together. The physical affection and conversations have dwindled, but I guess that's normal for couples our age. Life isn't thrilling, but it's not bad either. I do the housework, work part-time, and take care of John. This routine will probably continue until one of us passes away. I thought John wanted this too. But John betrayed me. One weekend, he suddenly brought home a young woman. Her name is Elizabeth, and she seems to be a subordinate of John's. At 26, she's about the same age as Emily. With his arm around her, John declared, "I'm marrying this girl, so let's get a divorce." What? It struck me like a bolt from the blue. Kevin's 21 now, so our parental duties are over. I want to spend the rest of my life with someone I truly love. Wait, I can't grasp what's happening. Amidst my confusion, Elizabeth, John's subordinate, sneered, "I'm marrying my darling, so you need to leave, old lady." While I was reeling, the two of them began to insist on how much they loved each other and were meant to be together. Love is wonderful, and all that. I could nod along if it were someone else's story. She's my junior at work, and she has been the one comforting my tired mind and body from work and home life. John said this without any hesitation. Because darling always covers my mistakes and treats me to delicious meals. Look, he even bought me this bag. Have you ever received one? Elizabeth flaunted a designer bag, recognizable even to someone as unacquainted with brands as me. Of course, I've never been gifted anything like that. In fact, my birthdays haven't even been celebrated in recent years. It's blatantly about money. I bitterly denied their so-called pure love. Men's appeal includes their financial power, doesn't it? You're being dumped because you don't understand that, old lady. I know. I'm aware of that. I'm not going to pretend money doesn't matter. I appreciate John for working hard every day. Enough already. John sighed, clearly annoyed. If I'm spending the same money, I'd rather it be on someone young, skilled at uplifting a man, and cute. You're past your prime. How could you? You're no longer needed, old lady. Just get a divorce and leave. Elizabeth leaned on John, looking down on me. As everything I believed in crumbled, I couldn't say yes or a no, only staring at them in despair. That was the start of a hellish week. John started to boldly visit Elizabeth's place and hardly ever came home. Meanwhile, Elizabeth would come to our house almost every day, berating me. "Are you still here? Hurry up and divorce him. It's pathetic to cling to someone who doesn't love you. You look so pitiful, old lady. Why do I have to be subjected to such insults by John's mistress? What did I do to deserve this? Is being an older woman a crime?" Although I felt indignant, it took me a while to accept reality because I had only envisioned a life with John till the end. The thought of affecting my children's futures by becoming a single parent also paralyzed me. It was my children who gave me the push I needed. Mom. Why didn't you talk to us sooner? One weekend, Emily and Kevin, who both live alone, came home unexpectedly. They seemed to know the situation even though I hadn't told them. "Emily, Kevin, how did you? Dad contacted us, saying Mom is hesitating to divorce because she's jealous of the younger woman. Kevin, you understand how I feel, right?" With a look of discomfort, Kevin disdainfully relayed John's selfish assertion. "That's awful. I can't believe he involved Kevin too. Ew. That's gross. Elizabeth is 26, right? That's about my age. That's just the worst." Emily's face contorted in utter contempt. Then she gave me a firm pat on the shoulder. "Mom, just go ahead and divorce him. But what if being from a single-parent family affects your job prospects or marriage opportunities? Anyone who judges my worth based on that can take a hike. Emily stuck out her tongue and made a playful face. Kevin, unusually serious, looked me in the eyes. Mom, why not think about your own future for once? Would divorcing Dad really be such a problem? A problem. Without him, I'd only have to look after myself. As for money, as long as I get support for the kids' education, I can live on my part-time income and the rent from the apartment I inherited from my father. If I don't have to take care of John, I can work more hours. Without him, I could take up hobbies, right? I could go out to lunch with friends on weekends without getting complaints. I could cheer for boy bands on TV without hearing "it's embarrassing to squeal over young men" from him. After all, he's the one infatuated with a younger woman. Divorcing would free me from all these annoyances. That would be amazing. I wouldn't have any problems if I got divorced. As soon as I declared that out loud, it felt like everything brightened up. That's right. Actually, it's the mistress who'll have trouble being married to such a selfish man like Dad. Exactly. Emily enthusiastically agreed. Hey, I appreciate that you care about us, Mom. But I'm happier when you're happy. As long as you're okay, I can do anything. Both Emily and Kevin were a strong support. Mom, you're only 48. It's too wasteful to dedicate the rest of your life to such a terrible man. We'll work on being independent. So live your life for yourself. Emily. Kevin. The tears I had been holding back finally spilled over. Thank you. I'm truly grateful that you are my children. It's because you raised us with so much love. Having been deeply hurt by John's betrayal, my children's gentle support was a solace to my weary heart. My life hasn't been a mistake. Not in the past, nor will it be in the future. I won't hesitate anymore. I will live the rest of my life for myself. Once I completely got over my feelings for John, I acted quickly. I decided to divorce while our relationship was still ongoing. The risk was that their relationship might end before the divorce was finalized, making the negotiations more difficult. I hired a lawyer experienced in divorce cases and prepared to move out. Once everything was ready, I informed John of my intention to divorce and arranged a meeting to discuss it. We agreed on the costs for our children's college, division of assets, and alimony, all within reason. Honestly, I wanted to leave him with nothing, but a smooth divorce was my top priority. Besides, it was clear that the adulterous pair would eventually fall from grace without my interference. Any unnecessary actions might only prolong my chance for divorce. John paid off what he called the disposal fee for an expired woman, as if he was getting rid of bulky trash. Elizabeth, his partner, initially hesitated at the loss of assets, but somehow came to see John as a generous man. I almost laughed at their ridiculous act, but held myself back. Just a little more patience. A prideful man and a gold-digging woman, they have no idea of the hardships ahead. Mr. and Ms. Naive. Our last joint task as a couple was filing for divorce oath. There were my lawyer and the mistress, too. As a jab at me, she proudly mentioned their marriage right after we had filed for divorce oath. Even my lawyer was surprised at her. Elizabeth didn't seem to care it at all. Though it seemed unnecessary, I confirmed with Elizabeth. Are you sure he's the right choice for you? What? Sour grapes? Just hurry up and divorce, old lady. All right, all right. I felt sorry for the young woman being deceived by an older man, but it seemed I could pass on this joker without any worries. Leaving the two of them mentioning their marriage, I left the house. The sky was clear and blue. I wonder if those two will enjoy the same view. Thus, I began a new chapter in my life. After the divorce, I moved into a room in an apartment complex I owned. Of course, I didn't have to pay rent. Being in my hometown, I had many old friends around for company. The location was convenient, so Emily and Kevin often visited on weekends. I was grateful to my parents for leaving me such a place. The only concern was leaving my longtime part-time job, but fortunately, it was with a large chain store. Tom, the manager, arranged for me to work at a nearby store under similar conditions. My years of loyal service had paid off. Feeling a bit lonely from cooking too much food was only an issue for the first month. Now, I'm enjoying the pleasures of living alone, cooking just for myself every day. About 6 months later, I received a call from an unknown number. Answering without thinking, a woman's shrill voice, not even bothering to introduce herself, screeched into my ear. "Hey, old lady. None of the people from the company or my darling's relatives want to attend our wedding. You must be sabotaging us." This irritating way of speaking, unforgettable, even if I tried. John's mistress, blaming others for the mess she's made, how utterly annoying. Stop making baseless accusations. All I did was share the fact that I'm getting a divorce because John is supposedly getting together with a young and cute junior at work. You said the same thing, didn't you? I simply spoke the truth and bid farewell to the people who had been kind to me. But it's strange that everyone is absent. John's family and coworkers are serious people, they won't accept dishonest folks like you. We were just seeking true love. Sure, why don't you explain to everyone what true love is? Well, I guess the people around John are all quite sensible, so their rejection of an adulterous couple is significant. But it felt rewarding, as if proof that the marital relationship I worked hard to build over 20 years was indeed sound. Elizabeth made a big fuss, but in the end, the wedding was postponed. It wasn't due to the cold reactions from those around us, but because she was found to be pregnant. When the child was born, she even had the nerve to contact us demanding, "Send a gift for the baby, to me and my children." John, for his part, seemed to be spouting nonsense to the kids about loving your new half-sibling. Of course, they wouldn't accept it, but Emily and Kevin had complex feelings about suddenly having a much younger half-sibling. It's distasteful to me too, but the child born is innocent. So I took the high road and answered her call, only for her to complain, John's relatives won't send a baby gift. Maybe it's time you realized you're being shunned? That's impossible. Anyone who sees me would know the new bride is wonderful. We definitely need to have a wedding to show off. What? You're still planning to go through with the wedding? She's relentless. Huh? Of course. I promised, darling. At the wedding, I'll wear a traditional bridal gown, and for our honeymoon, we'll go to Hawaii. Take pictures in a wedding dress against the blue sea. Jealous? How blissfully ignorant. What a lovely dream. But do you realize how much money this is all going to cost? Raising a child properly can cost about $200,000. What? She seemed a bit flustered but bluffed, but darling earns a lot, so it's all good. That may be the case now, but your husband will be too old to work by the time your child reaches middle school. Oh. Did that strike a nerve? Even if his salary seems high compared to your friend's husband's, considering the seniority system, it's quite average. In fact, he's probably earned most of his lifetime income already. Oh. She was dumbstruck, even over the phone. She truly hadn't thought through having a child. Just as I imagined, but too foolish to fathom. He also has high blood pressure, and his health is a concern, right? What? Oh, you didn't know? Have you ever looked at his health checkup results? He's been flagged every year. She was at a loss for words. John hates hospitals, so it was a struggle to get him to go for follow-ups. Now that the nagging ex-wife is gone, he's probably ignoring health checkups and eating and drinking as he pleases. I pressed on, highlighting the reality even further. How long do you think he can keep working? But, being young, you can still work for over 30 years, so you'll be fine, right? Are you on maternity leave now? Well, I sarcastically asked, knowing she might not be able to return to work after maternity leave. Her affair and marriage of convenience were reported to the company's upper management, violating compliance rules, and both were disciplined. Dashing her hopes of returning post-maternity leave. A colleague of John's, who is my friend, had duly informed me. If she had noticed the stern looks directed at her for not wanting to attend the wedding, there might have been hope for her. But it seems she's finally realizing her naivety. Good luck. He can't do housework or childcare, but with true love, you'll manage, right? Amazing, I'm impressed. I'm off to lunch with some friends. Enjoy your time taking care of the kids, the house, and John. Without listening to her, I hung up the phone unilaterally. She must be stunned by the desperate reality of a marriage born out of mere desire and an affair. I'd love to laugh in her face and say, serves you right, but I'll refrain. After all, spending time with dear friends is more valuable than disparaging a detested person. A year later. Hey, you're Ashley, right? As I was about to leave my apartment, a man called out to me. It was John. This was the first time we'd met since the divorce. He seems to have been trying to reach out to the kids in various ways. Saying things like, take care of your new brother, and let's be a close-knit family. I hadn't told him where I moved after the divorce, but he knew I inherited my parents' apartment, so he must have guessed I lived around here. It's been a while. John smiled creepily, his mouth twisted in a grin. I tried to remember if he always smiled like this. Had I even seen him smile in the last few years? I thought seeing his face would stir up a lot of emotions, but surprisingly, I was able to remain calm. What do you want? Cold, aren't you? After all, we were together for 20 years. But you were the one who destroyed that relationship. Ignoring my frown, John started to ramble about his grievances with his new marriage. In short, his new wife nags him about not wasting money, taking care of the child, and doing the dishes and laundry. She insists on saving money because his retirement is approaching. A father should play with his child. Change the diapers. John complained as if these demands were unreasonable, but they are considered standard expectations by society. She's finally realized. This man, unhealthy and lazy, who neither does housework nor childcare, will become nothing but a burden once he retires. And in this era, where it's normal for fathers to help with childcare and housework. She must be shocked to see her friends' husbands actively participating in domestic duties. The problem is the man in front of me, who still can't understand his position even after 2 years. Getting married changes women, it's scary. But you never said things like do the housework or take care of the kids. That's true. Times were different, and I thought it was normal. That's when I realized. You were the one who truly loved me. What? I was taken aback by John's absurd statement. He scratched his nose, grinning sheepishly as if misunderstanding something. Being single at your age must be lonely. You're even prettier than when we were married, waiting for me to return, aren't you? Despite the age. You were great for following me without complaint. I'm willing to let bygones be bygones, so you should just be honest too. What? You still love me, don't you? What? I let out a strange scream and almost collapsed. Uh-oh. John froze in place at my outcry. I thought I had softened my resentment and anger towards John with the enjoyable days since our divorce. But his foolish behavior reignited my anger for the first time in a while. What are you babbling about in broad daylight? What benefit would I get from getting back together with a man who has no redeeming qualities? Hey, wait a minute. John was at a loss for words. If I've become prettier, it's probably because I'm stress-free since leaving you. I'm actually grateful to your affair partner. Thanks to splitting up with you, I've been having a blast. I'm so relieved my life isn't ending with me just changing your diapers. Oh no. For the first time, John's face turned pale at my firm resistance, something he probably hadn't seen before. That's right, even when I declared divorce, I never spoke my true feelings, and even after we parted. I just dealt with everything calmly without any resentful words. Could you move aside? I have a date. A date? John's voice flipped, as if straight out of a comic. You, an old lady, have a date. That's right. You must be getting scammed. Come to your senses. I don't mind. If I'm going to spend money, I'd rather it be on someone young and handsome. You're way past your expiration date. No. I'm just giving you back the lines you gave me. Ugh. If I were to add one more thing, you're like non-recyclable bulky trash. Though his mouth was moving like a goldfish's, it seemed no more words were coming out. Well, my date is waiting. Let's both forget about each other and be happy. Goodbye. Ashley. He called my name pleadingly, but I didn't look back and just walked away. At this rate, his second divorce isn't far off. Someone said that being happy is the best revenge, and I truly believe that. especially since it seems my confident departure has shocked him deeply. Mom. As I reached the meeting spot, Emily waved at me enthusiastically. She's my date for today. Sorry, I'm late. John showed up. Are you okay? It's fine, really. I finally got to say everything I've been wanting to. But let's forget about that, we have a live concert to enjoy. I've been looking forward to this day, working hard at my part-time job just for this. Mom, you're so funny. Let's go. Yes. Indeed, today is the live concert of a male singer I've adored for a long time. And this is my second time attending. I've even managed to get the tickets without Emily's help this time. I've developed other hobbies, but following this singer is my biggest joy right now. I go to his musicals with friends, and whenever he releases a new song, I play it over and over in my car. Kevin even sends me updates about his music shows through messages. Being able to chase what I love freely is happiness in itself, but what makes me happier is that everyone supports my enjoyment. People might laugh and say, "For an old lady." But I'm not bothering anyone, so it's fine. After all, this is my life. I had completely forgotten how fun it is to live for myself. Cooking for my family, planning outings to entertain my kids, and creating a comfortable home for John were fulfilling in their own ways. I feared that divorcing would erase my past and its value. But that wasn't the case. My children cherish me. My work and relationships, everything I've built, are still thriving. Letting go of the past and starting a new life can be more enjoyable. Stepping into the unknown requires courage, but once you start walking, there are countless exciting encounters. I plan to continue enjoying my life to the fullest.